Hello and welcome to the virtual meeting for the Matheson Avenue to Tryon Street segments of the Cross Charlotte Trail. My name is Scott Curry. I'm the Active Transportation Coordinator for the City of Charlotte and the Planning Manager on the Cross Charlotte Trail project.
Hi, I'm Katie Lloyd. I'm a Senior Planner with Mecklenburg County Park and Recreation, Capital Planning Division.
We are grateful that you've tuned in today to this public meeting. We want to give you a quick outline of what you will hear. First is just an overview of the Cross Charlotte Trail project before we jump into some specifics on the two segments that we are going to be talking about today, the Matheson Avenue to Craighead Road segment and the Craighead Road to Tryon Street segment. And finally, we'll give you some information for how you can chime in and tell us what you think about these two segments and the Cross Charlotte Trail project. To start our overview of the Cross Charlotte Trail and the Mecklenburg County Greenway system, I'm going to hand it back over to Katie Lloyd, Senior Planner with Mecklenburg County Park and Recreation.
Thanks, Scott. Mecklenburg County Park and Recreation has been constructing greenway trails since the 1970s. When we complete public surveys, paved walking and biking trails are typically the #1 requested amenity in our system, with natural surface trails being a close second. Our current Greenway Master Plan calls for 308 miles of these paved trails throughout the county, with an additional 200 plus miles of overland connectors or urban trails along streets. There are approximately 56 miles of Greenway trail on the ground today. Due to public demand, we are currently implementing an accelerated Greenway plan with a goal to build 30 new miles between 2019 and 2023. As I mentioned, we have over 56 miles of Greenway trail on the ground. We also have over 15 miles of access trails that connect these facilities to neighborhoods, commercial areas, and parks. In order to meet our 30-mile by 2023 goal, we are working on designing or constructing more than 40 miles of new trail. These projects often take a while to implement, particularly if there are real estate issues or if there are major physical barriers. Through partnerships with the City of Charlotte and the surrounding towns, we can better meet the needs of the public by building more greenways faster. Next slide. Thank you. We are also in the process of updating our master plan to develop the vision and the priorities for the next decade of our park and recreation system, including our Greenway Master Plan, where we're taking a fresh look at those 308 miles that I mentioned before. Please visit mecplaybook.com to learn more about our master plan effort. We hope to wrap that up in the next few months. You can also visit parkandrec.com to learn about our existing parks and greenway facilities. Since greenways have been a consistent public demand, the city and county collaborated to develop the Cross Charlotte Trail. This plan capitalizes on a regional trail connection identified in the county's master plan, as well as the Carolina Thread Trail plan. The Cross Charlotte Trail network will eventually connect trails from South Carolina to Cabarrus County via the Little Sugar Creek Greenway, Toby Creek Greenway, and portions of Mallard Creek Greenway. This regional trail not only serves as a significant recreation amenity, but also as a means for active transportation to connect residents and visitors to parks, jobs, shopping, and entertainment within the county.
The city and county partnered to prepare a master plan for the entire Cross Charlotte Trail alignment, covering segments from the South Carolina state line all the way to Cabarrus County. Extensive alignment analysis and public outreach was conducted to determine the likely best path for the trail. The master plan was finished in 2016 and is available at charlottefuture.com/XCLT. The Cross Charlotte Trail is a 26-mile north-south greenway within the city of Charlotte, and there are 5 additional miles outside the city limits, which brings the total alignment to over 30 miles. At both ends, the Cross Charlotte Trail ties into the Carolina Thread Trail, which is a regional greenway system covering 15 counties in North and South Carolina. The Cross Charlotte Trail is a key piece within that much larger vision, which includes over 1,600 miles of planned trails. The Cross Charlotte Trail will connect to key greenway systems throughout the city. In the north, the Cross Charlotte Trail ties into the 9.9-mile Clarks Creek and Mallard Creek Greenway system. In Center City, the Cross Charlotte Trail will connect to the city's Uptown Cycle Link system. will carry trail users into and across uptown Charlotte and connect to the Irwin Creek and Stewart Creek Greenway system. In the south, the city recently completed the South Charlotte Connector segment of the Cross Charlotte Trail. That 3/4 mile segment connects a future county segment of the Cross Charlotte Trail to the 5.8 mile McAlpine-McMullen 4-mile Creek Greenway system. Altogether, the Cross Charlotte Trail network will tie over 40 miles of trail network within the city limits, connecting people and neighborhoods to parks, jobs, shopping, housing, and entertainment in a transformative new way. In addition to those key trail connections, there are currently about a dozen other places along the alignment where the Cross Charlotte Trail ties into other east-west bicycle network. These are various types of bike lanes and signed bike routes that carry cyclists to and from the Cross Charlotte Trail. We are currently nearing completion of the design phase for segments 6 and 7 of the Cross Charlotte Trail, stretching from Matheson Avenue to Tryon Street. These segments total about 2.1 miles of trail and will connect to key destinations, including the Matheson Avenue cycle track, which is coming soon, 36th Street and the 36th Street light rail station and bike lanes, neighborhoods like Tryon Hills, Villa Heights, Noda, and Hidden Valley, the Sugar Creek light rail station and park and ride, and the North Tryon Street business corridor. Now I'll hand it back over to Katie to walk you through plans for segment 6 of the Cross Charlotte Trail, the Matheson Avenue to Craighead Road segment.
This key section of the Cross Charlotte Trail is about 1 mile long and will provide connections to 36th Street, Noda, and the 36th Street Blue Line light rail station. The segment connects to the Matheson Avenue Streetscape project, and it travels along Coleman Avenue and Philman Avenue to Craighead Road. Along the alignment, there are several active and pending private developments. There is also a railroad spur line and some county-owned floodplain parcels along Coleman Avenue. The city is coordinating with the ongoing private developments to stitch together the Cross Charlotte Trail through this transit station area. The proposed private developments and Cross Charlotte Trail investment will also result in new street connections through this area, carrying pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers between Matheson Avenue, 36th Street, and Craighead Road. The number on this slide corresponds to the diagrams on the following slides, which illustrate the proposed trail design. The portion of the trail from Matheson Avenue to 36th Street will be a shared use path with a typical width of 16 feet. The typical cross sections at the top of this slide illustrate this condition, with pedestrians and cyclists sharing a wide path like a typical greenway trail. The portion of the trail from 36th Street to Craighead Road will include a 2-way cycle track and sidewalk configuration. The typical cross sections on the bottom of this slide illustrate this condition, with pedestrians and cyclists enjoying their own separated space. The different trail conditions are designed in response to the existing and proposed land uses, topographic constraints, and available right-of-way. Now I'll turn it back over to Scott to walk you through segment 7 of the Cross Charlotte Trail from Craighead Road to Tryon Street.
This section of the Cross Charlotte Trail is just over a mile long, traveling through the Sugar Creek Blue Line station area. Similar to the previous segment of trail, in this segment from Craighead to Tryon, there are several pending private development projects. The city is coordinating with these ongoing private developments to stitch together the trail through this area. The alignment for this segment runs adjacent to several industrial properties, as well as the Cat's Park and Ride facility at the Sugar Creek Light Rail Station. The trail on this segment will be a shared use path, with widths varying in response to existing and proposed development and available right-of-way. In order to minimize expense, the trail has been designed to keep the location of existing curbs, avoid work within the existing roadway, and avoid major utilities. On the following slides, I will walk you through the variations within each of the 9 subsections that you see on this diagram. As the trail crosses Craighead Road into this segment, it transitions from a 2-way cycle track and sidewalk configuration to a 14-foot shared use path. That 14-foot shared use path continues around on the south side of Raleigh Street to the intersection with Greensboro. From there, the shared use path continues at a 12-foot width along the west side of Raleigh Street. After a portion of trail slated for construction by a pending private development, the trail transitions to a 10-foot sidewalk in front of the Cat's Park and Ride facility at the Sugar Creek Light Rail Station. Then the trail crosses mid-block to the north side of Raleigh Street. An appropriate mid-block crossing treatment will be installed at this location to ensure a safe and comfortable crossing for pedestrians and cyclists to access the Cat's Sugar Creek station. On the north side of Raleigh Street, the trail widens to a 14-foot shared use path traveling under the Sugar Creek Road Bridge. Once past the bridge abutment, there is some room for an 8-foot planting strip with street trees. The trail remains at 14 feet wide through this subsection on the approach to the Dorton Street connector. This Dorton Street connector segment of trail leaves the Raleigh Street right-of-way and cuts mid-block on a 16-foot shared use path to the dead end of Dorton Street. Installing a pedestrian bridge over a creek tributary will be necessary to achieve this trail connection. From there, the trail continues as a 16-foot wide path along Dorton Street to Tryon Street. And finally, there's a short stretch along Tryon Street with a shared use path and planting strip of varying widths that will carry trail users to a signalized crossing of Tryon Street, where the trail continues north onto the next segment of the Cross Charlotte Trail from Tryon Street to Orr Road. Our estimated schedule for these two segments of the Cross Charlotte Trail from Matheson Avenue to Tryon Street is to finish final design later this year. That will allow us to advance into the real estate acquisition phase and move towards construction with some utility relocation and a construction bid phase in 2022. Elsewhere along the Cross Charlotte Trail alignment, the city and county continue to make progress toward the ultimate vision of a 31-mile trail corridor stretching from Cabarrus County to South Carolina. The city recently finished construction on the South Charlotte Connector Greenway project, a key 3/4-mile segment that connects the main line of the Cross Charlotte Trail to the McMullen-McAlpine 4-mile Creek Greenway system in South Charlotte. That project was finished under budget and ahead of schedule. The city has also started construction on two major portions of the Cross Charlotte Trail. The Brandywine Road to Tyvola Road segment, which is a 1.5-mile segment from the Park Road Shopping Center area to the existing Greenway at Tyvola Road, and the 7th Street to 10th Street segment, which is a half-mile segment that carries the trail across the I-277 Independence Boulevard interchange in Uptown.
The county has been busy working on trail as well. We recently completed improvements to the Greenway Trail through the Huntingtown Farms Park and Star Clair area. Two additional segments stretching from I-45 to the South Carolina state line are also underway. The segment from I-45 to the President James K. Polk Historic Site will be completed later this spring, and the segment to the state line is scheduled to finish in late 2022.
So now that you've heard more about the Matheson Avenue to Tryon Street segments of the Cross Charlotte Trail, we want to hear more from you. There's a feedback survey available on our Cross Charlotte Trail website. If you have any specific questions, you can reach out to our project managers whose contact information is listed on this slide. You can stay up to date with these segments of the Cross Charlotte Trail and others by visiting our website at charlottefuture.com/XCLT. Thanks for tuning in to our online meeting, and we hope to see you out on the trail soon.